name is Riette. I work over here at Warehouse 215 at Bentley Projects, and I have Miss Kaila Kills with me today. Most of these interviews will be people that is on our vendor list, but Kaila has really struck our interest, so we wanted to get to know her a little bit more.
You're so nice.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a wedding photographer.
There you go.
Shocking, right? No.
I like it.
I own my own business, Kaila Kills Photography, and under my own name now.
Very nice.
I've been shooting weddings and shooting in general for a long time, but I didn't start my business until a few years ago.
Okay.
And then pretty much since the get-go, I fell in love with weddings, and I love everything about it, and
it really is a specific person to do this. Like, you have to have passion for it, because weddings is a ton of emotional work.
Right.
And
it's just work.
Right.
It's a lot of work.
Touche.
You would know.
Let's see what my little questions are for you. What led you to become a wedding photographer?
Well, me getting married, I know that's kind of cliche, but that's, I think, how a lot of us wedding photographers kind of get into it.
It's actually a lot, yeah.
Yeah, you go through so much, like planning it and picking my own wedding photographer, and I was like, I kind of love this. And my own wedding photographer was actually my very first mentor, so
okay, that's good.
I shadowed under her for a while, and I've been lucky to kind of mentor and shadow and shoot with a lot of the big names here in Arizona. They kind of took me under their wing and made me what I am today and still mold me.
Nice, I like it. So tell me a very memorable moment that you've had. It can be funny, it can be weird, whatever, just a funny story for you.
There's so many. I always think that at weddings, I'm like, okay, now I've seen it all. You know, if something crazy happens, you're always like, this is it, I've seen it all. But every time there's still something else that comes up. You guys know about, it's just crazy. Weddings are so it's like an emotional roller coaster, and there's so many little things that can go wrong, and there's so many things that can go right, and
it's funny, that perfect balance between the two.
And I always joke with brides, I'm like, something will go wrong. Like, that's just how it is.
Nature of the beast.
Right. And so I'm like, let's just pray it's something really small and insignificant and that you can laugh about later, and not something like really horrifying.
I always like to, if something small goes wrong earlier in the day, where I'm like, yes, we've had our wrong thing. Now we can just rock the rest of the day.
Right.
And touch wood, I haven't had it ever reflect back. So it's been
something
great.
Super bad. Yeah, it's like something silly. I've had a few that were borderline disastrous. There was a bride once that her maid of honor, the back of the dress, literally we went to zip it up, and it wasn't that it didn't fit. Something was just
the zipper was wrong.
It busted off altogether. The zipper just completely came off. And so we were like, and this bride, bless her soul, was already having kind of a stressed out day. It's a lot for a bride to coming on her. So we were like, so what are we gonna do to make this right so that she doesn't even have to worry about it? You know, so we took the maid of honor. And I bring a wedding day emergency kit, my own, with me to every wedding. Just because I know it's kind of popular for people to have their own nowadays, which is cool, but
it's good
I like having
prepared.
my own.
That's good.
So we took the stupid little sewing kit from the dollar section at Target, and we sewed her into her dress and put a bow on top of it to cover up the sew, and you couldn't even tell the difference.
Done.
And it was and the bride later on, she was like, did that dress always have a bow on it?
We were yes, the whole time.
And then we told her later that night, we were like, well, this happened, and she was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that was even happening, and I would have stressed about it, and now it's just totally whatever. It's hilarious. Now it's the thing that everybody talks about,
at the wedding.
Remember when Mari's dress totally busted open?
The funny thing about that is, and sort of for you guys to know too, potential brides and stuff, this is the kind of vendors you do need to hire. The one that comes prepared and doesn't just think of her job to do, but as well as what can possibly go wrong that she can help to make better. So
I love that.
Side note.
Thank
for
you.
you.
No, that's huge in my business. I always joke with brides too. I'm like, I would rather show up as a bridesmaid with a camera than just another vendor. I want to be there to kind of help your day in any way I can. I know my job is to take pictures, and that's what I love to do, but I think as wedding vendors, we really love it because we get to be there in these intimate moment in people's lives and make their day best day ever, they say, you know?
You get to spend the best day of their life with them.
And it's crazy, it's
a big deal.
I think you have to take that seriously, and I always say nothing is above me. I will go grab you water, I will do whatever I have to do to make that day easier for you,
Perfect. All right, so shameless plug. In your personal opinion, why would you recommend Warehouse 215 to your clients?
This is probably my favorite question, I'm not gonna lie. I love this place. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I know you're not, but I am. And it's just beautiful. It's got so much space, and it's so unique. It's historic. It's got awesome lighting. Like, this light coming in is from the windows right now, and it's just perfect. Like, you can shoot indoors and have totally natural, beautiful, soft light, and it'll make you look amazing. Trust me on that. And so I don't know, this place is just kind of magical. It's got so many neat elements to it, and it's got like the uniqueness and charm, but I think where it kind of comes in to make it above and beyond all those other venues that have like a unique space is that they've also thought of everything. Like, they have nice clean bathrooms and multiple of them and places to park, and just like little things that like sometimes when you get like cool hippie, like, like historic places or something, there's not really that option. Yeah, and it's not necessarily always the venue's fault, but I think that you guys kind of have that going for you.
Well, thank you. And then tell folks a little bit about how they can reach you, like website, email address, phone number.
So I'm Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you're interested in actually looking at my photography, KailaKillsPhotography.com. You can look at all my work and reach out to me. I love to meet couples over coffee or beer or whatever, whatever floats your fancy.
Touche.
Yeah, sometimes that's better.
It works.
And but if you are just engaged, or maybe not even engaged, but you know someone it is, definitely follow me on social media, and that way you can kind of get a feel for me over time, and that way when you are ready, or you know someone who's ready, I'll be right there.
Awesome. Kaila, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you guys.
And joining us on our #Green Couch Convos. We will see you guys next time.